Canelo Alvarez is set to make his return to the ring soon, and some new shocking details were just revealed that suggest Terence Crawford will be fighting him next. Eddie Hearn is a huge fan of both fighters, and he's been hoping to see a fight between the two of them. Eddie stated, "If you're going to ask me about the Terence Crawford question, you're talking about two of my favorite fighters, two modern-day greats. I do think Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, as good as Terence Crawford is. In my opinion, you'll never see Canelo come in under 168 in a fight. I don't think he wants to do that. 168 is still a little bit, but tough, but it's enough. So I don't think you see Crawford come up to 168, and I think if he does, I think he beats Canelo. So I'm not sure whether that fight happens, but if it does, two great fighters, and I'll favor Alvarez." Terence Crawford doesn't think that Canelo is as scary as everyone makes him out to be. Terence stated, "I can't get in a ring thinking if this guy hits me, he's going to knock me out, or if he connects, he's going to break my rib. I wouldn't even consider a fight if I think I can't handle that level of punching." But Canelo isn't Deontay Wilder or anything like that. Canelo is a big guy, but at the same time, I believe in my skills. He's a heavy guy, but he's not a big guy. He's 5'7", and I'm 5'7" too. That fight would be good. Shakur Stevenson definitely thinks that Terence would beat Canelo easily.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would beat Canelo.
From Terence's side of things, he's only got 2 fights left in his career plan before retiring, and Canelo is definitely one of them. Terence stated, "Jerome Ennis is in one place, I'm in another. I'm looking for mega fights right now, and that's not a mega fight. That's my standpoint on it. I'm looking to fight guys like Canelo Alvarez and the rematch with Errol Spence, and that's it. That's over for me." David Benavidez knows that Terence wants to fight Canelo, and he doesn't want him to fight Canelo before he gets the chance to. David stated, "Everybody wants to fight Canelo. That's the money fight. I even think Naoya Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. I don't want to see Crawford fight Canelo, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be a great fight, but I feel I deserve my opportunity. After this fight against Demetrius Andrade, what are they going to say? Deserve has nothing to do with it. Benavidez isn't the one to decide who Canelo should be fighting next. If he wants to fight Crawford for the good of boxing, he should do so. Fans worldwide want to see Canelo fight the pound-for-pound star while he's still relevant before Jerome Boots Ennis wipes him out. Showbiz the Adult thinks that Crawford has possibly surpassed Canelo as a fighter.
Canelo a better fighter than Terence? Back then it was comparable, but I still thought Terence Crawford was a better fighter all around. Then I think he was the best fighter in the world to me for years, as far as skill-wise, not on my pound-for-pound list. I think Terence Crawford was better than Canelo at his best, all because he can switch hit. So that's an extra dynamic. But now he's definitely better than Canelo.
Bernard Hopkins really doesn't think that Crawford versus Canelo is a smart fight for Crawford, and he doesn't think that it'll end up happening. Bernard stated, "Crawford cares about his life, and what does that fight do for Canelo fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What does that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that are realistic and make sense and less life risking on top of the risk that we have to step in there with guys our weight. Canelo is not coming down to 160. That's one of the things that's happening in the shakeup of the New World Order, where you have fighters who are literally 154 at best wanting to take on Canelo, who can actually fight a cruiserweight and maybe give a cruiserweight, especially at this moment, all they can handle." Jose Benavidez Sr. said that he wants to see Terence fight David Benavidez instead to see who's ready for Canelo. Jose stated, "Let's try to fight Crawford against David Benavidez after this fight with Demetrius Andrade. Let's make it happen. Everybody's doing it for the money. Now, if you mention Crawford to fight David Benavidez, they're not going to want to do it. Why are they doing it? They're doing it for the money. Anybody from 118 to 168 will fight Canelo. It's just for money. It's not fair. It's not an even fight. I just think he would beat Crawford. He's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter, but it's 3 divisions. Those power shots are bigger. Antonio Tarver really thinks that Terence Crawford will be a bigger challenge for Canelo than Jermell Charlo was. Antonio stated, Canelo showed that anyone moving up will have a problem, and I thought early on Crawford would be the type of guy with his offensive weaponry. I'm not sure though, moving up with that much weight would impact Crawford the same way as it did Charlo. He would be stronger, more powerful, and I think being in the ring with a guy like that will make you fight more differently. It would be a lot more heated than the Canelo fight because Terence Crawford is one of those guys who means what he says. He isn't there tapping, he's standing on everything he says, and you have to respect fighters like that. I believe he would definitely have to get used to and adjusted to the natural strength and power of Canelo, and that's always the X factor, power. Meanwhile, fighters like Floyd Mayweather believe that Canelo should be fighting David Benavidez instead.
If it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen.
Amir Khan really doesn't think that anyone is going to be beating Canelo, though. Amir stated, I don't think anyone is beating Canelo. There are rumors I'm hearing about Crawford moving up to 168 to fight Canelo. I like both guys, and I just think that Crawford should not give that much weight away. I've done it myself when I was at the peak of my career, had a great win against Devin Alexander, then went and fought Canelo. You can't do it.
Is there anything that scares you, Canelo Alvarez? What frightens you?
Nothing about boxing.
No.
This is what I love.
Yeah.
So.
Chiron Davis has been in the ring with Terence and Canelo, and he thinks that Terence would need to fight a perfect fight to beat Canelo. Chiron stated, I've been in the ring with Crawford too. I got Crawford ready for when he fought Sean Porter. I was with him for a few weeks. What do I think about that fight? Everybody knows Crawford has got skills, but I do think Canelo is a little big. He's a little big for Crawford, and it would be a tall task for him to win. It would be a lot to get that victory based on size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you have a guy that has size and skills. It would be hard. Nothing is impossible, but if I had my money on someone winning the fight, it would be Canelo Alvarez. According to Michael Benson and ESPN, there are 3 potential opponents for Canelo to fight next. The tweet stated, Jamie Munguia, Jermell Charlo, and Terence Crawford are reportedly potential opponents for Canelo Alvarez in May, with David Benavidez a potential opponent for Canelo in September. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.